welcome to Enough Rope. In a few short months, my first guest went from being a struggling comic in Melbourne to the toast of the UK comedy scene, thanks to timing, good fortune and a bunch of smart, funny songs like this one.
We don't eat pigs, you don't eat pigs. It seems it's been that way forever. So if you don't eat pigs and we don't eat pigs, why not eat pigs together?
Truly, the piano is mightier than the sword. Say hello to a man very much like Jimmy Webb, Tim Minchin. I mentioned Jimmy Webb there in the intro, and I didn't mean to throw you. The only other time we've had a whole piano on the set was for the songwriter Jimmy Webb. Now, I don't want you to feel in any way challenged by that.
Expectations are high.
Yeah. I'm watching you play there. You're a beautiful pianist. You're a self-taught songwriter, effectively, aren't you?
Well, yeah, I did sort of childhood piano up to about grade 2 and wasn't doing my practice or anything, and one of the best things my parents ever did for me is not stop me quitting. They just let me quit. And then I say that because I know a million people are like really pressured to do it, and then at the end of 12 years of piano, they'd play their concerto at the end of school, close the lid, and that's it, because it's become a discipline. So for me, piano became the thing I did when I was meant to be doing my homework. It was the undiscipline. It's just wicked. I loved it.
Very hard to get away with that. You're supposed to be doing your homework and your parents can hear you playing the piano.
Yeah, the term shut the door is very resonant throughout my childhood and indeed my adult life.
Songwriting does run in your family, though, because your uncle, Calamity Jim, from the sensitive New Age cow person.
Did you ever see them?
I have heard some of their stuff.
Yeah,
I never
they're
saw
amazing.
them. Tell me about Calamity.
I wasn't really close to Jim, and I sort of forget. Sometimes it's about a few years ago, I went, oh, I've got an uncle who's a musical comedian. I never really clicked with that, but he's actually just a brilliant musician. He's played with Paul Kelly. I think he did a support for Dylan, and like, he's an amazing country musician. Doesn't have a clue what he's doing. He has no idea what he's doing. He can play anything with strings, including a fishing rod.
So he just feels music.
Yeah, he does. And he's brilliant. But he was kind of a wild musician in the 70s and stuff. And I grew up sort of going, well, if you're undisciplined, you might be, you know, like. So I didn't. It took me ages to sort of think. Not because my parents were like, you have to be. They've always been supportive. But it took me for a long time. I think I'd written 3 or 4 scores for theatre shows before I went, oh, maybe I'm allowed to be a musician.
I want to show a bit of footage. This is about 2000, 2001, I think. You in Perth, just about to head east for your big break.
Tim Minchin has been writing music since he was a teenager. Approaching 26, he's just made his first CD with band Timmy the Dog, and in 2 weeks hopes to be knocking on the doors of record companies in the eastern states.
Ultimately, I'd like to write for my living, and I guess this album is a showcase of all different writing styles that I'm capable of.
Now...
Why do you hate the old you?
I'm not that keen on the current me.
Well, I hate the old you. No, I mean, I hate the old... I find... I've got no respect for me even a week ago, you know?
When you see that you, what do you think?
I was always and am rather sort of sincere and analytical about my work. I'm compelled, and that album that I made, the story of the next couple of years is me taking this record which had 15 tracks on it, some of which were like that song I played a glimpse of. I'm in a moment of bliss, who'd take this moment away from me? In my moment of bliss, no one and nothing can touch me. And it's in moments like this when all that's around me is coloured like yesterday's troubles, like a child reflected in bubbles. You know, it's not nice, just a nice songwriting songs.
Yes.
And then there was, who's the fella this week, bitch? You know, like, and my heart belongs to an 18-year-old lesbian. And so I was compelled...
Traditional love songs and the others.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I was compelled to write satirically, and a lot of my songs that came out of the one heartbreak I had as a young person, I'd sit there trying to write something deep and I couldn't stop. I couldn't help but go, get over it, mate. And then I'd write something silly instead. So writing silly was a compulsion.
But we've got some other footage here of you, because you ended up on your own playing in a place called the Butterfly Club, which seated about 40 people. This is from a documentary we're going to see a bit of called Rock and Roll Nerd, made by a friend of yours about you during this period through Edinburgh. And this is Tim playing the Butterfly Club.
This show's about me, baby. Oh, this show's about me. Don't you know it all?
Since I've started doing these silly cabaret shows, I feel like I'm onto something, and yet I still can't get my fucking agent to even come and watch.
My poor fucking agent.
Yeah.
She's a fucking lovely lady.
Yes, but she's also poor. I know.
Yeah, she's poor.
Yes, so you have no respect.
What's with this poverty?
What is it, because there were nights where almost no one turned up. What keeps you going when no one's turning up? Is there a part of you that thinks, I'm just going to keep doing this until my wife leaves?
Yeah, it's just narcissism. It's like, I don't care if no one comes. I am, for me, I've never been that person. I've never so respected my art that I think whatever happens. For me, affirmation's been a massive ingredient. So even though I was doing gigs to no one and stuff, I was always doing 5 different things at once. I'd be playing in cover band on the weekend or doing that, and I just had enough people during that period go, shit, we haven't seen anything like that, or no, I had enough to keep me going.